Welcome to Explainify, and before we begin, a quick warning. Once you hear these facts, you don't get to forget them. They stick, somewhere in the back of your mind, waiting to resurface at 3 a.m. when the world is quiet. If you're still here, settle in, take a breath, and prepare yourself. Here are 50 unsettling facts you'll wish you never knew. Fact 1. Your brain can create false memories so convincing that you would swear they actually happened. It doesn't just store information, it actively edits, rewrites, and fills in missing pieces without your permission. This means some of your most emotional or vivid memories might be nothing more than brain-generated fiction. Studies show that with just a small suggestion, people can remember entire events that never happened, complete with sensory details. Your mind can deceive you and you would never know. Fact 2. There are spiders capable of surviving for months underwater by building tiny air bubbles around their bodies. They sit completely still in total darkness, waiting for prey to swim past. What's unsettling is that they can do this in your backyard pond, or even inside a flooded basement. These spiders don't drown, they adapt, patiently waiting in silent pockets of air, fully alive. Fact 3. When you sleep, your brain paralyzes your entire body so you don't physically act out your dreams. But that system sometimes misfires. That's what causes sleep paralysis. Your brain wakes up before your body does. You're fully conscious, unable to move, and often hallucinating shadowy figures because your brain is still partly dreaming. People throughout history believed demons or spirits were sitting on their chest, but it was their own brain malfunctioning. Fact 4. There are more non-human organisms living on and inside your body than there are human cells that make you. Over 39 trillion microorganisms live in your gut, skin, eyes, mouth, and lungs. They eat what you eat. They reproduce inside you. Some even fight others for territory. In a way, you are actually an ecosystem, one that you don't fully control. Fact 5. Your body begins the long process of dying decades before you actually die. Starting in your mid-20s, your cells begin to regenerate more slowly. Your DNA accumulates errors and vital systems gradually break down. You don't notice it because the decline is slow, but your body has technically already begun its shutdown sequence long before you ever feel old. Fact 6. Deep in the ocean, there are fish that use bacteria to create their own light. They live in complete darkness, thousands of meters below the surface. If the bacteria inside them die, their light turns off, instantly making them vulnerable to predators. These fish depend on organisms living inside their bodies for survival, forming a bond so close that losing it means death. Fact 7. If the sun suddenly disappeared, the Earth would look completely normal for 8 minutes. You would go about your day with sunlight, shadows, and warmth, until everything went black in an instant. After that, temperatures would plummet and the world would slowly freeze. But you would only get 8 minutes of blissful ignorance before global catastrophe began. Fact 8. A single human sneeze can launch over 100,000 tiny droplets at more than 160 kilometers per hour. Most droplets are too small to see and can hang in the air for minutes. In a confined room, you can literally walk into someone else's sneeze long after they're gone. Fact 9. There are people who are completely blind, but don't know it. The condition is called Anton-Babinski syndrome. Their brain fills in made-up visual information, creating a perfectly believable hallucination of the world. They insist they can see even though their eyes send no real signals. Their brain lies to them so convincingly that no amount of evidence can convince them otherwise. Fact 10. Your phone carries more bacteria than a toilet seat. Warmth, moisture from your breath, oils from your fingers, and constant handling create the perfect environment for germs. But the unsettling part? Many of the bacteria on your phone came from places you don't want to think about, and you press it against your face. Fact 11. A human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. Historically, when soap was first produced, human fat, often taken from corpses, was actually used in the process. Even today, forensic scientists can determine how long a body has been dead by the chemical changes in its fat. What's unsettling is that the material that makes us soft and warm can just as easily be turned into something cold and industrial if the circumstances were different. Fact 12. When you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason, there was a reason. Humans evolved to be hypersensitive to noises while sleeping. Our ancestors survived by waking up at the sound of predators or intruders. Today, it might just be a pipe cooling or a car outside, but your brain reacts the same way it did thousands of years ago. Fact 13. Cockroaches can live for a week without their head. They breathe through openings in their body called spiracles, not their mouth. Even headless, they can walk, react to touch, and survive until they eventually die of dehydration. Your brain keeps you alive. Theirs barely matters. Fact 14. Some lakes are so toxic that touching the water can kill you. Lake Natron in Tanzania is so alkaline that animals falling into it get chemically burned and calcified, turning into statues. Birds have been found preserved like sculptures along the shoreline, frozen in their final moments. Fact 15. If Earth lost its atmosphere for just 5 seconds, everyone would instantly go deaf as the air pressure around us vanished. Anything airborne, birds, insects, dust, would drop straight to the ground. The sky would turn black. After 5 seconds, if the atmosphere returned, you would still be permanently changed. Fact 16. The human brain can remain conscious for up to 10 seconds after decapitation. Historical accounts describe blinking, eye movement, and attempts to speak. Although the body dies instantly, the brain remains aware long enough to realize something is horribly wrong. Fact 17. Tiny mites live on your face right now, hiding in your pores. They come out at night to feed on the oils your skin produces. You don't feel them because they're microscopic, slow, and adapted to avoid detection. Everyone has them. Even newborn babies get them from their parents. Fact 18. There is a fungus that can infect insects, take control of their nervous system, and force them to climb to a perfect height before killing them. The fungus then grows out of their body and releases spores to infect more victims. It doesn't just kill the host, it puppeteers them. Fact 19. You have unknowingly walked past at least one person in your life who had violent or malicious intentions. Statistically, we all cross paths with dangerous individuals. But because nothing happens, you never realize how close you were to a different outcome. Fact 20. Astronauts can't cry normally in space. Without gravity, tears don't fall. They cling to the eyes, forming bubbles of liquid that sting until you wipe them away. Even sadness works differently outside Earth. Fact 21. Rats laugh when tickled, but the sound is too high-pitched for humans to hear. What's unsettling is that they also laugh when hunting smaller animals or when anticipating violence. Their laughter isn't always innocent. Sometimes it signals predatory excitement. Fact 22. The ocean floor contains more human remains than any cemetery on Earth. Thousands of ships have sunk, planes have crashed, and bodies have disappeared into the depths. Many will never be found because the pressure would crush any equipment that tries to reach them. Fact 23. Jupiter acts as Earth's shield, pulling in or deflecting asteroids that could wipe out humanity. But it also occasionally slingshots dangerous objects toward Earth with even greater speed. The planet that protects us can also doom us. Fact 24. Your brain prevents you from remembering the exact moment you fall asleep. There is a blank spot in your consciousness every night when awareness simply shuts off. You lose minutes of your life daily and never notice. Fact 25. Some parasites can alter their host's behavior to the point of removing fear. One type infects mice and makes them attracted to the smell of cat urine. The parasite wants the mouse to be eaten because it can only reproduce inside a cat. Fact 26. Falling coconuts kill more people every year than shark attacks. Sharks are feared, but coconuts silently fall without warning from massive heights. One unlucky moment is all it takes. Fact 27. You swallow about 1.5 liters of saliva a day without realizing it. It's constant and automatic. But if you saw that amount collected in a glass, you'd probably never look at your own mouth the same way again. Fact 28. When you look at the stars, you're seeing ancient light. Many stars visible today died thousands or even millions of years ago. You're looking at cosmic ghosts, light from objects that no longer exist. Fact 29. Your body destroys around 50 billion cells every single day. Some cells burst violently from internal pressure in a process called apoptosis, while others quietly degrade. Life requires constant death inside you. Fact 30. Scientists estimate that more than 80% of the ocean is still completely unexplored. There could be species larger than anything we've ever seen, ecosystems beyond imagination, or dangers we have no idea exist. Fact 31. If you stopped blinking, the surface of your eyes would begin deteriorating within hours. Blinking is the only way your eyes stay lubricated and oxygenated. Without it, your vision would quickly blur, then burn, then fail. Fact 32. Severe sleep deprivation can cause full hallucinations. After around 72 hours awake, your brain begins dreaming while you're conscious. You might see figures, shadows, or hear voices that aren't there. Your mind breaks without rest. Fact 33. The most toxic substance on Earth, botulinum toxin, is the same chemical used in Botox treatments. A single gram could kill millions of people. Yet small doses are injected into faces daily to reduce wrinkles. Fact 34. There are caves deep underground where no sound from the surface can reach. The silence is so intense that many people begin hearing their own heartbeat, blood flow, or internal organs. The brain panics when deprived of noise. Fact 35. Some birds mimic the sound of a crying baby to lure humans or animals closer, not to harm them, but to steal food. They understand what sounds grab our attention, and they use it to their advantage. Fact 36. Your body generates tiny electrical currents strong enough to technically power a small light bulb. Every thought you have is an electrical spark traveling through your nervous system. Fact 37. Humans cannot walk in a perfectly straight line without visual cues. When lost, most people unintentionally walk in circles, even though they feel like they are moving straight ahead. It's one reason many people die close to help. Fact 38. If Earth were only slightly closer to the sun, the oceans would boil. If it were slightly farther, the oceans would freeze. The habitable zone we live in is such a narrow strip that even slight changes would end life. Fact 39. The popping sound from cracking your knuckles isn't bones. It's tiny gas bubbles exploding inside the joint fluid. The force can reach speeds estimated near 60 miles per hour. Fact 40. When you look into a mirror, the reflection you see is slightly delayed. It takes a few milliseconds for light to reach your eyes and for your brain to process the image. Technically, you have never seen yourself in real time. Fact 41. Some jellyfish are biologically immortal. They can revert to their juvenile form after reaching adulthood, essentially resetting their life cycle indefinitely unless killed by a predator or disease. Fact 42. Humans take more photos every 2 minutes than the entire human race took during the 1800s. Yet most of those digital memories will eventually vanish when devices fail or data gets lost. Fact 43. Your tongue print is completely unique, just like your fingerprints. If governments wanted to, they could identify you by your tongue alone. Fact 44. A typical cloud contains enough water to fill 100 Olympic swimming pools, yet it floats overhead silently and effortlessly. If it ever dropped all that water at once, the damage would be catastrophic. Fact 45. Lightning strikes Earth about 8 million times a day. Statistically, someone somewhere is being struck right now. And some bolts are powerful enough to vaporize objects instantly. Fact 46. Most people forget the majority of their childhood because the brain deletes memories it doesn't consider relevant. Years of your life vanish permanently, even though they shaped who you are. Fact 47. The air around you is filled with tiny particles of other people's skin. Every breath you take contains microscopic flakes shed by strangers nearby. Fact 48. Scientists have found bacteria living inside nuclear reactors, completely unfazed by deadly radiation. These organisms could survive events that would wipe out almost all other life. Fact 49. If you stretched out all the DNA in your body, it would reach from the Earth to the Sun and back, more than 600 times. You carry unimaginable amounts of information inside every cell. Fact 50. No matter how safe you feel, your brain is constantly scanning for danger. Even when you sleep, a part of your mind stays half awake, listening for threats humans evolved to survive, not to relax. And that was just the beginning. The world is filled with far stranger, darker, and more unbelievable truths than most people ever realize. If you want more videos like this filled with fascinating facts, weird science, and things that keep your brain awake at night, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and tap the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and good luck sleeping tonight.